From violent power struggles to shifts in cartel dynamics, the life of a cartel drug boss is dark in every sense. Today, we're diving deep into the aftermath of a seismic event in Mexico's criminal underworld, the arrest of a major drug kingpin. When these powerful figures are taken down, the ripple effects can be felt across the entire country. Stay tuned as we explore the chaos, the clashes, and the unexpected consequences that have left a lasting impact on the nation. The Catalytic Arrest. Joaquin Guzman, better known as El Chapo, is still revered as one of the greatest drug lords Mexico has ever seen. In spite of his diminutive stature, he was a single manpower that shaped the drugscape of the country. As a young child, he started the drug business with his father by growing marijuana for local dealers, and by the late 70s, he moved to work for Hector Salazar, a growing drug lord. He helped the man map routes to transport drugs through Sinaloa to the United States. He then moved to work for Miguel Felix Gallardo, a powerful drugpin supervising his logistics by the mid-80s. However, the minute Gallardo got arrested, El Chapo decided to take the big step of founding his own cartel, the Sinaloa cartel. Business was booming, and he had both the experience and intelligence to pull it off. El Chapo revolutionized drug trafficking with innovative methods like distribution cells and long-range tunnels near borders. This paved the way for him to export more drugs to the United States than any other trafficker in history, thus bringing him immense wealth and power, causing Forbes to name him one of the most powerful people in the world from 2009 to 2013. His first graze with the law was when he was arrested in 1993 in Guatemala and then moved to Mexico, where he was sentenced to 20 years for murder and drug trafficking. However, El Chapo decided the walls of the prison were limiting his activities in 2001. Hence, he bribed the guards and planned a prison break. He then went ahead to live a fruitful life for more than a decade before he was later arrested in 2014. But El Chapo planned another prison break the very next year. Using the same long-range tunnels that made him successful as a trafficker, El Chapo escaped his cell, but he was arrested soon after and moved to ADX Florence in the United States, where he is serving a life sentence. How the drug market fared post-arrest. In the arrest of a powerful drug lord like El Chapo, the cartel didn't fall behind as fast as people assumed it would. However, impending doom was looming. The Sinaloa cartel still remained strong and continued their activities of pushing drugs out of the country to the US and Europe because of another man who stood behind the scenes, Ismael Zambada Garcia. Better known as El Mayo, this man was a co-founder of the cartel, and since the inception of the cartel, he had managed to avoid attention. While El Chapo received all the attention for being the leader of the cartel and was even arrested twice, El Mayo managed to evade the law for decades without being noticed at all. While incarcerated, El Chapo reportedly proclaimed that El Mayo still remains king. Living up in the mountains, El Mayo was able to elude arrest all his life and continue the operations of the cartel. Over the past decade, the cartel has decentralized into several loosely connected factions. Despite this, Zambada has maintained his status as a kingmaker or godfather, brokering deals among these factions and with other cartels. Known as the Capo de Capos, or the boss of the bosses, Zambada has a $15 million bounty on his head from the US government, which is higher than the bounty for any other Mexican cartel leader. In comparison, El Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, the most prominent remaining cartel leader from the Jalisco New Generation cartel, has a $10 million bounty. The arrest of the ghost drugpin. The Mexican government had no success in arresting the drugpin, even though they were aware of his existence. El Mayo lived a very quiet life while running one of the most powerful cartels in Mexican history. Hence, to arrest him, the drugpin had to be lured from his safe abode. To do this, Guzman Lopez, one of the Little Chapos, better known as Los Chapitos, the son of El Chapo, led the betrayal. Lopez lured the quiet drug lord from his slumber and made him board a plane that was going to check on the airstrips in northern Mexico. Drawing El Mayo from his cave helped bring to the public eye the cartel boss who had evaded investigation for decades. El Mayo was betrayed by his godson, and when the plane landed at a small airport near El Paso, the US agents were waiting in ambush to arrest both of them. In exchange for reducing his own sentence, Guzman sold out a powerful drug lord. Despite his arrest, El Mayo still pleaded not guilty to the charges made against him. However, with the arrest of the second Sinaloa boss, the future of the cartel plummeted. With El Chapo's arrest, the supervision of the cartel fell on El Mayo, but with El Mayo's arrest, the doom that was encapsulated after El Chapo's arrest was triggered. The chaotic doom. The encapsulated doom had cracked when another son of El Chapo was arrested earlier in 2023. Ovidio Guzman, better known as El Raton, was arrested in Sinaloa and flown out on a military plane to Mexico City. The arrest of El Raton triggered a rampage. The members of the cartel began setting vehicles on fire, blocked roads, and opened direct fire on soldiers. In retaliation for the arrest of the son of their boss, at least 29 people, including 10 soldiers, were killed. The shootout with cartel members resulted in 19 lawbreakers being killed, and about 35 soldiers sustained gunshot wounds. Residents in the northern Mexican state of Sinaloa, still scarred from the last bout of intra-cartel fighting, are bracing for more violence. The arrest of legendary drug lord Ismael El Mayo Zambada could ignite a bloody war. There are fears that Zambada's family members, who hold high-level positions in the cartel, will seek revenge for his betrayal, potentially sparking a conflict. A similar situation in 2008 led to years of brutal infighting that shook Sinaloa. The outlook in Sinaloa is grim, with a cartel member describing the situation as likely to get ugly. In response, Mexico's military has deployed about 400 troops, including 200 elite special forces soldiers, to Sinaloa following Zambada's arrest. El Mayo and El Chapo are key leaders of two powerful factions within the Sinaloa cartel, which consists of various groups wielding power across different territories. While these factions sometimes pool resources, they also clash occasionally. Guzman Lopez, one of four brothers known as Los Chapitos, inherited their father's portion of the cartel, while El Mayo commanded another major faction. Since El Chapo's extradition to the United States in 2017 and the rise of his sons, the relationship between these two factions has been tense, though it hasn't escalated into full-scale warfare. However, with Lopez betraying El Mayo, residents are anxiously speculating about the events that led to Zambada's arrest, aware that power vacuums often result in violence. Many residents still remember the chaos of 2008, when the detention of powerful drug lord Alfredo Beltran Leyva led to accusations that El Chapo orchestrated the arrest as part of a deal with Mexican authorities to secure the release of his son, Ivan Guzman Salazar. This triggered spasms of grisly violence, shattering the relative tranquility in Sinaloa with shootouts, targeted killings, and horrific displays such as bodies hanging from bridges. Fight for succession. Ovidio and Joaquin Guzman are already in the hands of the U.S. justice system. However, former DEA agent Mike Vigil claims they were not as powerful as their two brothers, Ivan Archibaldo and Jesus Alfredo Guzman, who remain at large and are known for being more ambitious and impulsive. While much is known about Los Chapitos, less is known about El Mayo's sons. One widespread hypothesis is that Zambada had considered handing over control of his group to Vicente El Vicentillo Zambada Niebla for years. Vicente was arrested in Mexico City in 2009, extradited to the United States a year later, and eventually cooperated with authorities, but was released after serving as a key witness in the 2018 El Chapo trial. After Vicente left the criminal life, his father focused on grooming his other sons, Ismael Zambada Siqueiros, also known as Maito Flaco, and Ismael Zambada Imperial, Maito Gordo, as possible successors. Unlike Los Chapitos, El Mayo has ensured that his children maintain a low profile, avoiding the influencer lifestyle and staying away from scandals, gradually preparing them for succession. Both Los Chapitos and Los Maitos grew up in their father's shadows, and their leadership styles and successes are often compared to the old days. Vigil, for example, questions whether Zambada's heirs can maintain control of the organization and fill their father's shoes. Most likely, Maito Flaco will take over. He is the strongest, he shared. El Mayo's criminal governance is seen as much stronger than that of Los Chapitos. Durango, for instance, enjoys a state of peace and obedience, often attributed to Zambada's influence. Hence, the clash that might occur as a result of El Mayo's arrest might be very catastrophic. With both El Mayo and El Chapo being restrained, their children will have to fight for succession amidst the betrayal on the ground. The future days are dark. Will the government really be able to curb the storm that is about to happen? Let us know what you think in the comments below. For more dark stories of the underworld, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to never miss an update.